right, in the military, so they have an idea of why we're efficient, right, and how that connects, you know, from point of injury, highly trained corpsman, right, to a higher echelon of care coming into a physician.
So think more broadly.
Yeah, exactly. Right?
Easy to.
You know, how the whole team component comes in, right? We're showcasing Navy medicine, right? How we work. Us as corpsmen, we're a byproduct of what? Of what a physician's pushing us to do and having us, you know, like evolve on. Right? The reason why I was successful in my deployment is because I had a GMO, right, an infantry battalion, taking the time daily before we went on that deployment to make sure I knew my trauma, I knew my meds, I knew what I needed to do. Our survivability was dependent on that. It's vital on that. You know, so we are a byproduct of these physicians, right? These nurses, these leaders in medicine, right? That are driving us to be successful. So, like, showing that is something that, like, I don't think the civilian population really understands that well, and that's going to be a big point of this.
Got to do that. The Navy paid for that. The Navy paid for my medical school, which was up in Pennsylvania. It was a lot of money. So that was fantastic as well. And then, you know, coming out, I realized I wasn't the greatest pilot. I was a lot better physician, which was good. So I was actually a family medicine intern out at Camp Pendleton in California. So I did a lot of primary care, and you can go do dermatology. So I did dermatology. I'm thankful that I got to do that. And, you know, just a diversity of experiences. I think for dermatology, if you want to stay out in the Pacific Ocean, small island, U.S. territory as well, you know, working with people from all walks of life has been amazing. And again, getting to travel. And the only other
at the Naval Hospital in Jacksonville, Florida, so I'm a couple steps around the hallway from Captain Douglas. A little bit of a different story from even didn't know what I was going to end up doing, and got accepted to med school, and then said, "Great, how do we pay for it?" And took that opportunity on. Did 5 years of residency training in Virginia, and had a great time there. And now I'm in Jacksonville, and so one of the things that an ACL in the Navy is the same as an ACL outside of the Navy, but the opportunities that are available in terms of where to practice and how to practice and getting to interact with any number of these individuals you see here around the room, all on a voluntary basis. No one here was coerced to do this. We all raised our hands voluntarily to take on this assignment, and it's been a great experience so far. So in practice now for a couple of years, but you'll probably come talk to me here in a little bit over at Station 4. If you have any questions about anything and the whys and what do I like about it, feel free to ask.
That's not true. I have just as many opportunities that they can go home and not have to worry about moving every 2 years. So I have loved every minute of being in. Or, you know, other questions about Nurse Corps, feel free to come find me.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Next up.
That's number one. I have training in internal medicine. I trained in Miami. A lot of training with residents, a lot of training with students, simulation. I've seen a lot of the stuff that you're going to see. Your mind's going to be blown. Hopefully, many of you will never have to render care to people while you yourself or the injured are under fire, like these guys will have to do. In the civilian world, there's tactical emergency casualty care, which is a corollary to that. But the bottom line is that the three things that kill people on the field of battle are same three things that we need to be concerned about in the civilian world, whether you're in an ER or an OR or on a regular floor. Hemorrhage. Anybody remember the Boston Marathon? So hemorrhage was a major component of the people that were injured there. People taking off their belt and wrapping it around for tourniquets. That's a life-saving measure. So hemorrhage. Tension pneumothorax. Basically when you collapse a lung, that's what happens. Very easy to take care of, but you have to be able to recognize it and kind of jump on that sort of quickly because the guy could die. So that's number two. And number three is airway. So anybody that's ever taken basic life support knows A for ABC is airway. Right? So if I call you on the phone and I give you an order as a physician and you just say, okay, I have no idea whether you heard what I said. Mimicking, that parroting back that we've learned from the military in an effort to provide better care to our civilian casualties as well as the military casualties. So I'm excited that you guys are here. I can't wait to. Everything, by the way, can be washed out of your clothes. So if you get splashed with anything, don't worry about it. It's really about having a fantastic.
Might take 2 hours.
For
20 years now, believe it or not. And I was asked to come participate, and it's an honor on my way over here, ironically. I'm on call this weekend, but it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Anything that I can do to help you guys out, I'd be happy to do it. All right, thank you guys. Of course.
It's important to get out there and try different things. What the job of an independent duty foreman is, it was just another thing where I was like, wow, like I should try and pursue that.
As being like the highest person in the ring.
IDCs deploy on ships, with naval special warfare, with small boat teams,
Independent duty corpsman is quite brutal. Today we're at strategic operations, which is a high
locations, main hubs to continue to come back with. So, whoever likes
the more pieces that I can use, the more stuff. I mean, I have. So everything bleeds.
Or spleen down in through. So the spleen, you feel real close to, you feel the splenic artery. So if you actually go through to do a splenectomy and you start getting a little butcher happy in there.
So this would have been one explosion?
Yeah, it could be explosion, blunt trauma can do this as well. We've seen car wrecks that will do this. We actually, one of the guys that works for us, he's had an exploratory lap done to him, and it was through a motor vehicle accident. But this could be from anything. So this particular patient, the skin I have on him, we can create any wound patterns we'd like. For him, I just have penetrating trauma times 2 and just some shrapnel that bounce around a little bit. So it's
invaluable. It's not the first time you've seen it in that environment as well.
These products and the training we did, I do have labs. Thought so valuable.
We do have labs.
Look at me. So this guy, he's got a good area, but if you go in, but a lot of times it isn't identified as quick because it's so down in the elements. When you start seeing the symptoms from it, there's always one that's really true. And it's essentially they get to come in, do a live scenario, do everything they normally would. No cleanup, no reset. We take it, we put it back in bags,
for our surgeons to work, and then we end up doing something similar to what part of this is here. What's called an external fixation. Has anyone ever seen a patient with an X-fix on? Okay, so the way I describe it to folks is it's kind of like putting an erector set on you, where pins go into the body, through the skin into the bones, and you have bars and rods configured in some sort of way on the outside of the skin just to help hold the fracture stable so we can transport them or so that, again, someone else can do some more work. And then we come back and clean up the amputation or add nails or plates or screws or anything like that. So feel free to take a look at things over here, over on
Spleen on the left, spleen is in the back there.